What's going on, everyone? So, for the people that follow me very closely, you notice that I haven't been posting. It's been about maybe 5 days or so. For my casual viewers, you probably didn't realize, but I went to San Diego, went for a mini trip with my wife and my daughter Bree. Went to San Diego and we flew Southwest, and I just got back. Today's Columbus Day, October 12th, Monday. You'll probably about a little before 2 p.m. I just got done with the workout. You should probably get this video by the nighttime of the 12th. And we got in about like 9:45 or 10 a.m. to the Bay Area. And overall, the trip was good, but it was interesting to say the least and pretty exhausting. So we got in last Friday, and things were good. I was a little bit not worried, but just kind of curious to see how my daughter would adjust to the new environment, and she's very regimented, and having that routine is very important. I always talk about routine, or I have talked about routine in the past with people, and consistency is very important, especially for babies. They want consistency, and what we did basically is we did an early morning flight so we can basically calculate everything and try to make it basically seamless as possible. The only difference being in San Diego, a different environment. So her nap schedules, her feeding schedules, everything down to the T, the time she goes to sleep and everything down to the T. So Friday night she usually goes to bed between like 7:30, and she went boom, she fell asleep like that. So Friday was good, and then Saturday hit. Morning was good. She had some oatmeal in the morning, went to the park around 10 o'clock in the morning, had a snack. All of a sudden her face started getting hives. Now, she's had a few allergic reactions before, first one being the peanut allergen. Went to the urgent care, and then we gradually gave her peanuts, and she's developed a tolerance for it, which I believe a lot of parents should be doing instead of avoiding everything like the plague. That's why the nut allergens have been increasing, quite a bit over the years. But anyway, she has that, and then salmon. One time she was eating some fish, and she was rubbing her eye, and she got really swollen. So we have experience, and unfortunately, Bree has experience with allergic reactions, so we don't panic. So we had gave her 5 milliliters of Benadryl, and that usually subsides. Usually within an hour, the symptoms will go down. But we noticed was that it wasn't going away. So normally that's still a little bit concerning, and I checked her body. I took off her clothes to see, and it was all over her body, and she was just acting really weird. So our gut feeling was like, let's just go to the urgent care. It's about 10-15 minutes away from the Airbnb we were staying at in San Diego. And as we're driving, I'm right here, well, different car, but rental car. And, my daughter is back there, and my wife's back there. All of a sudden, she starts throwing up. So there's different levels to allergic reactions. There's the lower end, which is like the hives. There's an intermediate, or the throwing up, which could be a concern. And then the most severe is the anaphylactic shock, where your airway closes, your tongue gets swollen. Luckily, she didn't reach that level, but she was kind of at that moderate level. So as I'm about 5 minutes away, she's throwing up in the car, and this is where it's like, okay, I'm glad that we're already on the way. Initially, I wasn't 100% sure if we should take her, and I was like, let's just go. So our gut feeling was good. Go in, we check in with the urgent care, sign in, and while I'm waiting, they make us wait outside due to COVID. And we're waiting there, and all of a sudden, my daughter, I'm holding her like this, and she's not feeling good. She's all weak. She throws up all over me, all over the facility on the sidewalk, and I'm like, looking at the lady, and she just kind of like staring at me. I'm like, come on, and then luckily this other lady gave me some napkins and stuff. I was like, get us in a room or something. She didn't even tell us to go to a bathroom, nothing. I'm just like, whatever. I don't expect much from people these days. So anyway, we eventually get in and get room, check the heart rate, oxygen levels are good. The nurse, LVN, takes that, it's good, vitals are good. One of the nurses comes in, he usually works in the ER, he checks, he's like, yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. We're gonna give her some more Benadryl and probably dexamethasone, aka Decadron. That's a steroid. So it's like different levels to that. There's like Benadryl. Whenever you have an allergic reaction, there's Benadryl. Intermediate, steroid. Advanced is the epinephrine, the EpiPen, which I'll get into in a second. That's like for life-threatening. So he's like, yeah, I think it's going to be okay. We're going to monitor for a little bit, but let's just get the doctor in to be sure. So the doctor comes in, checks, and he's like, okay, I think we just prescribe a steroid and we'll be good. So overall, we were there. I didn't time it exactly, but we were there, 1.5, maybe 2 hours, a little less. So that's moderate. It's not like an ER where you're there like 7 hours at my hospital, which I heard is a nightmare. So that occurs. They prescribe the steroid, and the pharmacy luckily is right across the street, and this is where we kind of wasted some time, which I kind of got a little bit annoyed. So they prescribe it, like, okay, just monitor it, make sure she's looking good and she's fine. If not, you're gonna have to take her to the ER. If it happens again, like, no problem. They write the prescription. I look at it, but I don't really look at it. I mean, I just figure it's there, right? They just say, go to the pharmacy, I'll be ready. I go to the CVS across the street, I go, and they're having problems. I'm just waiting in the car, and my wife, and I'm calling, and I'm waiting. My wife's like, there's been a delay with the way it's written. I'm like, what do you mean the way it's written? It's like they didn't put the prescribed dose. They just wrote dexamethasone, steroid. That's it. I don't know. It's the doctor's responsibility to put it correctly. The LVN or whoever should be looking at it. Whatever. They screwed up. So the pharmacy tries to call them, and I try to call them. My wife tries to call the pharmacy. They're not even picking up. So what do I have to do? From the pharmacy, they told us to drive back to the urgent care. Drive back to the urgent care. The guys, I'll be with you 1 second. I'm like, hold on a second. I was here a while ago, just a little while ago, and you guys didn't write it. You didn't write it in correctly. Write in the prescribed dose, the milliliters of the steroid, and it's like, okay, blah blah blah. After that, drove back to the pharmacy, got our prescription, and then drove home. So that whole fiasco took about like 4 hours or so. It could have been worse, but it's just a waste of time. You go from the Airbnb to the urgent care initially, urgent care to the pharmacy back to the urgent care back to the pharmacy back to get some food by that time to go home. Her schedule's all jacked up and all that. So that was Saturday pretty much, and we're kind of wiped out. And then Sunday was yesterday, and it was pretty smooth sailing. Met up with my one of my good buddies who's relocated to LA. That was good. We had a little brunch. My daughter saw some seals. And overall, her first overall trip going on a plane wasn't too bad. It was only like an hour, from the Bay Area to SoCal, so a little over an hour, so it's not bad. It's kind of up in the air if maybe for her second birthday if we want to go to Texas, but I'm kind of leaning more towards no, especially because once they turn 2, and people have been kicked off the planes for babies not wearing masks, and I think that's just absolute asinine and ridiculous that you can blame a parent for a 2-year-old, getting suffocated from a mask. But I'm gonna save that for another video, maybe in the next one or the one following. So overall, after that, I just got back, and then her grandma, my mother-in-law, thank God send, she helped out for a couple hours so we can catch up. I took a little quick nap, had a shake, worked out, and then came back. So overall, it was good. We had some good food, some pizza, good breakfast spot, some other things. And San Diego's a really nice city. It's one of the few cities that I would consider relocating if I did, because I'm in NorCal right now. So anyways, that's my time. Thanks for watching, and that was it. Overall, it was good. Could have been smoother, but I think considering what we went through on Saturday, we were very calm and we just got everything done. And after she puked, I had to take out the baby car seat. I had to wash it down. It was a rental car, so I had to make sure I don't get fined for messing up the property. The car. So I had to clean that out, air it out, wipe it down. Very, very tiring. And then holding her, she's about 25 pounds in one hand. I got a backpack right here, holding her in one hand, and I'm carrying the stroller. It's not the huge stroller, but those things are freaking heavy, and luckily I'm in pretty good shape, so I'm holding that in one. So I'm carrying about, I don't know, 40 something pounds through the airport, and just a lot going on. But overall, it was okay. A little bit tired, but that's it. So I am back. I'll be coming with more videos, and thanks for sitting tight. And how was your weekend? I'll talk to you later. Bye.